Hip-hop was born in the Bronx, but Queensbridge Housing Projects will become one of the most influential places in any music genre in history. New York originated hip-hop and dominated for years. Then the West Coast took it. They ran with it and dominated for years. The South has something to say, and they're still speaking.
Closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Even the Midwest had its moment. Different cities have ruled different eras, but no single neighborhood has produced more superstars than Queensbridge Housing Projects. Before hip-hop had music videos and major label deals, its first obstacle was radio. And no radio show was more important to the culture than Mr. Magic's Rap Attack on WBLS in New York City.
Mr. Magic, Marley Marl.
Hosted by Mr. Magic, aka Sir Juice. He brought along an up-and-coming DJ out of Queensbridge Housing Projects. He goes by the name of DJ Marley Marl.
Yeah, I'm from Queensbridge, New York. Make some noise, y'all. Now, that area, you know, of course, Nas is from that area, Mobb Deep, Cormega, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan, of course me. And before me, there was a lot of musicians that made a lot of music. It's pre-hip hop. My neighborhood was filled with musicians. It's all started from the Name Game, a song from the 60s. I mean, people was coming out of Queensbridge from the 60s. Yes. It's like, mana, bofana, but that song, the lady lived in Queensbridge. Wow. We had Mr. Andre Booth, who made a lot of records, who actually introduced me to Arthur Baker with my first deal. We had Mr. Darryl Payne. He had like a whole string of records. The whole disco era was Darryl Payne. He lived on my block. I looked at him like a god. I'm like, wow, this guy's music's on the radio. He lives on my block.
WBLS 107.5 in the class by itself. Gotta admit, the boy is a musical genius. Speaking, of course, about Marley Marl, my engineer all-star, made this record called Magic's Beats, dedicated to yours truly. I'd like to thank Marley Marl for such a fantastic record. I kind of like this one.
Now, Juice Crew, you gotta think, Sir Juice is Mr. Magic. A lot of people run up to me and say, Mr. Magic Marley Marl, but they calling me Mr. Magic Marley Marl. That's two people. A lot of people don't know Mr. Magic was the first person to play rap, period, on the radio.
On the radio,
and bring it mainstream too.
I used to get his compilations that used to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
He used to be on late night, playing the rap music, when nobody was even caring about it. You know what I mean? So he was the first rap DJ. When he went to BLS, that's when I got with him. I became the engineer all-star Marley Marl with the mixing gloves that I never wore.
Mr. Magic's Rap Attack is the first all-rap radio show ever. And in 1983, his engineer Marley Marl would stumble upon something that was absolutely revolutionary.
Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the house here. It's Marley Marl. We in the studio right now. Yeah, sounds over there, but come here.
While working as a studio engineer at Unique Recording Studios in Manhattan, Marley Marl would accidentally change the sound of hip-hop forever. During a session, Marley accidentally isolated the snare sound from a record by the Honey Drippers entitled Impeach the President.
One day I was at a session and we were just joking around inside it. Actually, it was a Captain Rock session.
Which track?
It was a song called Cosmic.
Cosmic.
Check out the blast.
Yeah,
that one, Cosmic Blast. That's the B-side.
Okay.
And actually, I never really said this in an interview or anything, but I sampled the beatbox in that record to make it do what I wanted it to do. And then I was going to get something else off of the track to sample, and the snare actually recorded first before the sound that I was looking for. Now I started playing my sampler against the track that was coming through the speakers, and my snare sounded better. So I told the engineer, turn that snare down, and I played my snare over. And I looked at him, I said, wow, do you know what just happened? And he's like, yeah, you made a mistake and sampled the snare by mistake. I was like, no, this means I could take any drum sound from any pre-existing record, like James Brown, funky drummer, snare. So when I took that Impeach the President snare, hear that snare?
Most of y'all like it like how Marley Marl has it.
Let me hear that.
This is Hammond's version. But Marley Marl love that kick.
That snare would change the world. That's real. There's so many records with this snare, from Funky Cole Medina to Eric B. as President to Make the Music with Your Mouth Biz, and so on. So what so basically, when I sampled that kick and that snare and made my own beats, that changed hip hop.
Marley's innovation would define the sound of hip hop production for decades. Queensbridge now had a sound, and the world was about to hear it. Meanwhile, there was a young woman sharpening her skills in the streets of Queensbridge, destroying any MC who stood in her way. Her name is Roxanne Shante.
We go back further than high heel shoes. We go back further than sequins jackets. We go so far back, baby, that we go back to the projects. We go back to when you carried around your drum machine and used to leave your son on the bed and would rather let him fall than to let that drum machine fly. That's right, that's how far back I go with Mr. Marley Marl. We go back so far that he was able to influence the entire projects with the music that he played in the morning. People would call my house and say, what is Marley Marl playing out the window today with that black speaker in the living room?
I've known Marlon all my life. You know, Marley's sister Belle lived on my block, which was 12th Street. He lived in a building across from me, and he worked in the Sergio Valente jean factory. So because he worked in the Sergio Valente jean factory, and that was like a very popular brand of jean then, when he said to me for me to come to his house, he wanted me to do a freestyle over a beat real quick. So I was like, okay, look, I got 7 minutes.
It was done. First take, she was down the laundry, her clothes was in the laundry, and she ran upstairs and did her record in one take and ran back downstairs. Her mother didn't know she
You just had to tell them the laundry story. Right. See, my mother was making me do laundry, and my mother was like, listen, if my clothes aren't done, you's in for it. So I was like trying to make a record and do the laundry at the same time.
That freestyle would turn out to be Roxanne's Revenge, a response to the group UTFO's 1984 breakout song, Roxanne, Roxanne.
This is how the whole situation went. UTFO created a fictitious character named Roxanne, and it happened to be over the big beat. So when Marley played the big beat for me, automatically when you heard boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, you thought Roxanne, Roxanne. So because I was doing a freestyle, I heard the big beat and I said, okay. He said, so what you gonna rhyme about? I said, I don't know. And then once I heard the boom, boom, I said, well, my name is Roxanne, or don't you know? And that started it, so I brought her to life.
That freestyle, one take joint, like 2-3 weeks later, we on private planes going to do shows.
Woo! Crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's 3 shows in 3 different states, so we need like a private situation to move around that day. Woo! And it's like 3 weeks later.
Full Force decided to come up with their own real Roxanne because I actually started making more money than UTFO than the original record. So they came out with the real Roxanne, which also helped spawn like 86 other records that were all coming at Roxanne Shante. So whether it was Roxanne's a man, Roxanne's baby, Roxanne's doctor, Roxanne's parents, Roxanne's this, you know, and because I was already a battle rapper, it was easy for me to have so many records coming at me, all negative, and it not affect me.
I didn't even mix the record down to master. I played it, check this out, I played it on our show, and we recorded our show playing the record, and gave them that tape, and they made the records off that.
So a recording of a recording is the wax?
A recording from the radio is the wax, yeah. That's why it goes, oh my goodness, because Magic was talking shit over it on the radio. And the record came out like that.
While Marley and Shante was sending shockwaves through the music industry, another MC was honing his skills and about to rep Queensbridge to the fullest. He goes by the name of MC Shan.
Well, how I got into rap, that's a funny story. Because we used to be in in Queensbridge on the benches, just rhyming, you know, freestyling. And the next thing you know, Roxanne Shante got a record, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I kind of taught her how to do this, so I think I can do it too.
Marley would soon put his new innovation on full display on a song by MC Shan called Marley Scratch.
And so what I did was I went and I wrote Marley Scratch on a paper bag. A brown paper bag back in the days. I said, I gotta get this to Marley. So I went to Marley and I told him the rhyme that I had. And from that point on, Shanté took me on tour. And I was out on tour for like 6 months with no records, singing Marley Scratch across the country. But I was singing Marley Scratch with one of the biggest hip hop artists of the time.
But in 1986, MC Shan released a song that would become the Queensbridge anthem, entitled The Bridge.
We came home from a show and it was like, yo, let's record something for the festival. And so what we did was he put on the, you know, we put up the beat, he put it up, the Honey Drippers, boom. And I just wrote that song off the top of my head. I just jotted down, you know, Jappy Jap, you know, Larry La, Gas. I just jotted down things and I actually did that song off of my head. Because you can hear the pauses. You love to hear the story again and again. How it all got started way back when.
We made it 2 years before the public heard it.
Okay.
It was already floating around the hood, heavy. My nephew leaked it out. Frito leaked it out to the hood. And then like everybody had the tape. I was like, damn. And then, you know, Lawrence and them was doing Beat Biter. You know, that's when Shan was going at LL. And Lawrence was like, yo, put that on. You know, he's from Philly. Put that joint on the B-side. I'm like, nah, man, that ain't no record. That's some shit we made in the house for Queensbridge Day. What you talking about? Nah, put it on the B-side. I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's let it go. It's already leaked out in the hood. Next thing you know,
MC Shan's song The Bridge sparked one of hip-hop's earliest and most important rivalries. In the Bronx, Boogie Down Productions, led by KRS-One and DJ Scott LaRock, took offense to the song's lyrics.
He done said, oh, hip hop started in the Bridge. I never said, I said, let me tell you a little story about where they come from. But I guess that was his niche into the game. So you can't blame him for doing it, you know what I'm saying? But if he listened to it, you will hear me say, let me tell you a little story about where they come from. The Bridge, the Bridge, where I told the story of who I watched doing this. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, there were a lot of other people doing music before the Bronx, or at the same time as the Bronx, Brooklyn, you know, Flowers in them, you know what I mean? They were doing stuff. And so by him saying South Bronx, I've heard that it actually started in the West Bronx, but that's not for me to be a scholar and talk about. It's none of my business. All I know is about what I was talking about in Queensbridge.
We was in the studio doing Bite This. Scott LaRock comes in the room. Yo, Mr. Magic, pleased to meet you. Thank you, you know, blah, blah, blah. Could you please come in our room and listen to our shit and tell us what you think? So, you know, and my Magic, like, I'll be in there later. Mr. Magic was very unruly. He was real mean to motherfuckers. You know, God bless his, you know, God bless his soul. But you know, he was one of them dudes that
he knew he was a gatekeeper.
Yeah. If he didn't like you, he'd tell you, yo man, what the fuck is wrong with your haircut, nigga? He's like that type of nigga. Okay. Big up Mr. By the way, he did say that to Kane. That's why the hair went up.
Oh shit.
Okay. Now, we go in the room, they put on some song. They all going, they jumping all crazy around the room. Mr. Magic's looking around. He just goes over to the volume knob and turn that shit down. Boom. Now, you know how it is in the studio when it just gets silent. He looked there and said, yo, that shit is bullshit. Yo, that's bullshit. He said, yo, you want real hip hop? MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, Marley Marl, Mr. Magic. Man, get the fuck out of here. He just walked out the room on these niggas.
Really feeling good about my neighborhood and everything. I get back, the day I get back, the kids is talking about the South Bronx record. And I'm like, what? And it was like, yo, this is record. They diss Shan and Marley. I'm like, all right, well, let me hear it.
What was my reaction? Kill that noise.
Rap it any style, all categories. Fresh freestyle, surreal, live stories.
Kill that noise.
And then The Bridge Is Over came. It just silenced everything. It was like, oh, they not playing.
By this time, Marley Marl was pumping out hit records directly to the world from his apartment right there in Queensbridge houses.
Wait up. In Queensbridge? My Melody was made in Queensbridge?
In the living room in Queensbridge.
Yo!
And Eric B. as president was made in the living room in Queensbridge.
And oh my
the same
fucking,
living room
the
where
same.
Shante made her.
Yo, you gotta
Does
buy
that have
that.
a credit on the record?
You gotta buy that apartment and just make that a studio, my dude.
You know what I mean?
Yo, that's
Holy
crazy.
shit! I would have never thought. I would have thought that was the one and only record, like you and Shante, like as the. So there was other people coming to that house.
Oh, yeah.
And this was the house on 12th Street. You said.
The house on 12th Street.
41st side,
41st side.
41st side. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fucking Mobb Deep
That's what I'm trying
side.
to say. Now, Havoc lived in the next building.
Now, how did you meet Biz Markie?
Biz, he was another person that came out to Queensbridge to meet me.
Okay.
And so he hung out there for about a week.
Queensbridge.
Yeah. He just was hanging out. He was like, you know, Biz was like, hey, man.
You even recorded him in Queensbridge too?
I did.
You
yeah.
did? Which
Yes, I
record?
did.
Which record? Bro?
Nobody Beats the Biz.
Nobody Beat the Biz came out of the bridge too?
Yeah.
God, get the fuck!
Yeah.
Somebody gotta buy this apartment, my dude.
Straight up, make it a museum.
Somebody gotta buy this
You know what I'm
apartment.
saying? So he came. He was like that girl, but he came out to Queensbridge, but he was a guy hanging out. So he hung out on 12th Street. Yo, where's that Marley nigga at? Yo, he over here. Yeah. So he hanging with them for a few days. Then he go on this block. Where that Marley nigga? He hanging with them, just staying on the block overnight, whatever. Next thing you know, like about the 4th day or 5th day, somebody said, yo, it's a nigga in the hallway beatboxing. And I was like, I don't want to hear no beatbox ass nigga right now. Buffy's out. Dougie Fresh. Everybody, you know, like, ain't no room for that right now. But it's like, yo, but he nice. I was like, all right, let me go see him. As soon as that nigga went, nigga, come in my house tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we made a quick demo the next, that very next day, which was Make the Music.
And not long after, by the way of Mr. Magic, aka Sir Juice, they created the Juice Crew All-Stars.
See, the Juice Crew that you know and love, that everyone knows and loves, we're not the originals. Sal Abatello, that's actually something that started up in the disco fever with Sweet G and those guys, you know what I'm saying, before my era. We were the Juice Crew that Magic had put together. Magic was part of that Juice Crew fever thing. So what it was, Magic put us together and we were called the Juice Crew, but we were the Juice Crew that started off making records. The original members of our Juice Crew, me, Shante, Craig, Biz.
Kane.
Yo, which Kane was this? Is this Who Flat Top Rules in '89 Kane?
He didn't have the high top fade yet. Now, Biz is late. Some Afro-looking stick-up nigga knocking on my door talking about, yo, I write for Biz. I'm like, if you write for him, tell me something that didn't come out yet. And he told me one of the rhymes. I was like, oh, open the door. Come in and shit. I write for Biz, and he's late. I had this for him for today.
He's not. So he's coming up. What are you talking about?
Right.
So when was the
with
moment?
an afro?
With an afro,
Yeah.
not even.
Right.
And you said Magic told him.
Magic was like, yo, you ain't getting on stage representing for us with your hair like that. Word up, Magic was on some shit, kid. He's like, yo, you ain't getting on stage representing the Juice Crew with your shit like that. And then I think that's when that high top fade popped back with the high top fade.
TJ Swan, Tragedy.
What y'all gotta understand is Traj is one of the original Juice Crew. Now y'all gotta remember. I never believed it when he told me that. No, but then he did tell me that. But he was original Juice Crew. Now here's what happened to Traj. Traj was so young and his life was going through certain changes and things that he had to do college time at 14. Traj is one of them Juice Crew members and he had to go do some college time. Now this nigga sitting in college talking about, oh shit, I'm down with that. Because when he went to jail, that's when y'all blew up. Right? Yeah. I remember you always telling me that stuff. But Trash, now you believe him, right? Yeah, no, I believe that part. No, you just said a minute.
Stay tuned for part 2 as we detail the rise of the next crop of MCs to come out of the most influential neighborhood in music history, Queensbridge houses.
I was not only our lives, I was the whole Queensbridge lives, you know what I mean? Then we knew fucking KRS-One just said the bridge is over and all that shit. We was little kids coming up under that shit. Like, you know, the bridge ain't over, we super ill niggas out here. Like, so we had to let the world know how ill we was. Like, when everybody thought in hip-hop that the bridge was over, are you fucking crazy? We was ill.
While Marley, Shante, and Shan was laying the blueprint, the youngest member of the Juice Crew was lurking, ready to explode onto the scene. He goes by the name of Tragedy Khadafi.
My name is Tragedy Khadafi, and you know, I'm from Queensbridge. But right now, you know, I'm being held, being detained. Before Tragedy, I was called Jade Ski. As a kid, the crazy shit I was doing, it was just like, yo, you a tragedy, man.
No. What y'all gotta understand is Trage is one of the original Juice Crew. Now y'all gotta remember.
I never believed it when he told me that.
No,
he did tell me that.
But he was original Juice Crew. Now here's what happened to Trage. Trage was so young and his life was going through certain changes and things that he had to do college time at 14. At 14. Now, remember his voice was, the tragedy!
There we go. I lived on the first floor in Queensbridge, and my building was like the last building from the park. The park was right across the street, so like when they would jam, you know, I'll be looking out my window, I'll see people running across the street, like, yo, where they going? Then I hear this music vibrating on my window, and I'm like, yo, this ill, you know.
They used to set up the equipment, Disco Twins, right? Marley.
The All Brothers.
The All Brothers, you know what I'm saying? White Flash. You know what I'm saying?
LES, all them cats.
LES, Hot Day.
Hot Day.
Just the whole park would just be popping. That's ill.
Tragedy was the little dude that lived on the block on the first floor. They used to jump out the window and go to the park jams. You get what I'm saying? You know, we all grew up on the same block, so we all knew each other. I knew his moms, step pops. It's like, you know, everybody's off the same block.
Marley was a king, you know what I'm saying? Marley was a man.
Everybody was chasing Marley. Yo, Marley, put me on.
He wasn't really paying me no mind. I guess he had mad running up on him, telling him they could rhyme and all that. I went to the crib this one time in particular, and he told me to come back in 15 minutes. I probably waited maybe 10 minutes, but it felt like 5 hours. He let me in that time, threw a beat on, and I just got at that. And it was called The Tragedy.
Woke up one morning,
Turned your radio on. Couldn't find your money and your brother was gone. Ran to the kitchen, all you found was a bone. You knew your brother's habit, couldn't decide on his own.
Marley used to live right in this building on the second floor, 4114.
Woke up one morning, turn your radio on. Couldn't see your brothers and your brother was gone.
The tragedy won't happen to me. Now your brother's in brain surgery. Yes, your brother's rich. He's a millionaire while you're out on the Bronx and you're on welfare. But at the end of the day, Trage is one of them Juice Crew members, and he had to go do some college time. Now that is sitting in college talking about, oh, I'm down with that.
Because when he went to jail, that's when y'all blew up. Right? Yeah. I remember you always telling me that
story. But Trage, now you believe him, right?
Yeah, no, I believe that part.
No, you just said that part.
You know, even with Percy Tragedy back in the day, you know, he used to live on my block. He went to jail when I did In Control, so you know, I made sure he came home to money. And you know, the second verse on Live Motivator, that's the blueprint of Queensbridge. Go, you know, anybody that's hearing my voice, go listen to the second verse of Live Motivator. And that's the blueprint of what was yet to come.
Einstein of lyrics, mad psychopath. Rather listen to the Trage on your phone up. Rap, original, Asiatic, rhymatical mechanic. Jetting like a Uzi, ammunited automatic. On the strength, I'm terrific. Rhymes are hieroglyphic, use a potion and a potion. My brain is scientific, rhymatical, motivating. She's annihilating, the lyrical poet, New York exterminating.
This word Illmatic, there's no doubt that you
maybe you didn't originate the word, but you spoke the word.
I mean, you credited for originating it.
The first time I used the word Illmatic in a rhyme was a song called Tragedy, The Rebel Is Here. It's on volume 1 of Marley Marl's In Control 1.
The rap automatical, the rhymatical. Forget ill, I get illmatical. Biceps pulsating in my lungs. Queensbridge Projects is where I'm from.
Yeah, I didn't originate it. It actually came from a breathing, walking and living person named Illmatic Ice.
It's not that I said I'm gonna make this word up, but I was in the streets so much that when I even heard his name, I was like, forget ill, I'm gonna get illmatical.
Meanwhile, on the 40 side of things, a young kid was sharpening his pen and will soon be heralded as one of the greatest MCs of all time. He was ready to show the world just how Illmatic Queensbridge is. He goes by the name of Nas.
Nasir Jones, who I am, you know what I'm saying? Nas is who they started calling me at a young age. It's hard to pronounce the name Nasir. From Nasir with Nas, and the Nas were nasty Nas when people found out that I knew how to rhyme.
Now, come on, bro. Now, Marley, how the hell did you miss Nas? How you didn't sign Nas?
You know what the funny shit about Nas with me with Queensbridge? I never knew Nas rhyme. He never came to me. He would always stand on the side and watch.
So you saying like that shit in the Roxanne movie was like, because remember he rhymed for her?
He was fucking with her like that because Shanté was a street girl, so she knew everybody all over the hood.
You better not walk past me and not say nothing.
Peace, Shanté.
Peace? You done grew up on me. You got an MC name?
Nas.
Alright, Nas. But Sharon, you remember what I told you last time if you ain't know your shit. You're gonna get fucked up.
I'm from a projects that's really like Emerald City from the Wiz, bro. It's Roxanne Shante was a young teenage girl who had heart because she would just be out in the projects, hanging, and I would see her and we heard about her. And she was like a hood star at first, you know. You just hear about her, and then we would see her. And she heard me doing some little rhymes, and she was interested. And she was like, "Yo, I want you to participate with something. I want you to do some stuff. I want you to work on your craft. And when I see you again, have it together." And there was something that she left out before No, it was actually in the movie. She said she saw me and I didn't have it together, and she said, "Next time I see you, you know, and you don't have it together, I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yo, so that was real.
100% real.
All right.
1,000% real. And I believed her. I'm younger than her, you know, and she wasn't soft. So, you know, I try to low-key avoid her because I didn't want to deal with the, you know, not having my rhyme ready because I wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't ready. But what she did was spark something in me that really made me want to take it serious.
When people ask me about the Nas scene in the movie, that wasn't my story. Actually, Nas had told it first in Illmatic. Because I'm a person who doesn't say, oh, I did this for this person, I did that, I'm responsible for this, responsible for that. Because that's not how you get your blessings. When you tell what you did for somebody, then it's scrapped out. You know, and you can't do that. You can't, you know, if that's not how things work. If you want it to be properly done, you do it from the heart. So with Nas, even though I had threatened him and did all of that when I was younger, I was so proud of what Nas has become. I am so proud of the man who he is that I felt I would tarnish that by telling it. And then he told it first, which allowed us to put it organically in the movie. But had he not told it first, I probably would have never said a word.
Down in Queensbridge until the Nas's came out. That was our lives, you know what I mean? That was not only our lives, that was the whole Queensbridge lives, you know what I mean? Then we knew fucking KRS-One just said the bridge is over and all that shit. We was little kids coming up under that shit. Like, you know, the bridge ain't over. We super ill niggas out here. Like, so we had to let the world know how ill we was. Like, when everybody thought in hip-hop that the bridge was over, we fucking crazy, we was ill.
In 1994, Nas will put the word Illmatic on the main stage with the release of his debut album, Illmatic.
I already knew I had to prepare to block that hate out or to tear that down. And my choice was to tear it down.
This album went on to redefine the sound of hip-hop forever.
I dedicate Illmatic to my man Illmatic Ice doing time for murder right now, because he was a strong man and he made his own rules for the game and he didn't take nothing from nobody, and he was kind of like a strong path to follow and look at, even though he got caught up and misled into the wrong situation, and now he's caught in the system right now. I still dedicated the album to him.
Nas never stepped to me because I had Cormega. Cormega had Sex, Drugs, Bitches, and Money song out in the hood.
Yeah, yo, listen. I heard of Cormega first. Like
Right.
he was the first guy I heard from Queensbridge, like underground.
Of course.
Like prior. But go ahead.
That's why Nas probably never stepped to me, because I already had Mega.
Right.
Mega was fucking with me, but he
Right.
kept going to jail. That's why, with Nas never really stepped to me, because that street shit he was on, I already had those dudes.
Right.
The certified cats from the hood.
You ever regretted you not stepping to Nas?
Nah, because I understood what it was when they came to get Nas.
What do you mean?
Like, when the industry came to get Nas, I understood what it was.
You understood?
Yeah, I understood. They needed him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They needed a representative from Queensbridge, the place I made hot.
Right.
Even with the Mob.
Right.
I understood what it was all about.
Right.
They needed part of that.
And part of that came by way of a two-man duo from the 41st side of things, Havoc and Prodigy. They go by the name of Mobb Deep.
I love the whole Queensbridge, but the 41st side was the real side. The 40th side was like the corny side, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
They didn't really know how to dress really on that side, you know what I'm saying? But they just got one ace card, and that was Nas, you know what I'm saying? So it was all good, you know what I mean?
Poet and isn't Hot Day from the 40th side?
Yeah. Hot Day from there too. But we got Marley Marl, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan. We got all of them on our side, you know what I'm saying? So go figure.
I think everyone's riding with the 41st side.
There you
Give
go.
it up for the 41st side.
There you go.
The man behind the gritty production, Havoc, was born and raised in Queensbridge Housing Projects, growing up in building 4115 on 12th Street.
Right here. One. Bathroom window, and then this one with the
towel,
the towel hanging out.
Towel, right up
whatever
there.
that is. That was my
that
bedroom.
was your room.
That was my bedroom.
And although Prodigy was not originally raised in Queensbridge, he represented it like it was his home, and would eventually find his partner in rhyme at the High School of Art and Design.
It's the HAVOC Havoc speaking to you, you know what I'm saying, right now. We in front of the High School of Art and Design.
Where it all started, son, you know what I mean? Art and Design, Manhattan, son.
In 1993, together they released their debut album, Juvenile Hell, which received middle success. But in 1995, they released arguably the greatest hip-hop album of all time, The Infamous.
Yeah, back then it was a lot of 40s, a lot of weed, you know what I mean? Just making dope music, man. We was trying to prove a point, you know what I'm saying? As we always do with every album, but especially with that album right there, because it was like, we had just came off a bad album, so it didn't do too good. We got dropped, so we was like, nah, man, we got to show the world what time it is. You know what I'm saying? They don't know us. We got to show them us. We got to give them our soul. Like, we got to show them where we come from and who we are. And that made the difference for us when we really put ourselves into the music and put our all into it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we was real hungry, you know what I mean? So we didn't have no choice but to make, you know what I'm saying, ill songs, and came up with shook ones, and it was over.
I think I remember you completed the project, and I think we was shooting Hell on Earth or something. No. You was shooting your video.
Yeah.
I believe. I can't,
If I Ruled the World,
If I Ruled the World.
we shot it in the hood, and y'all was there.
And you
y'all
played the
pulled
album
up.
for me. You was like, yo, Have, listen to this. And I'm just sitting in the back seat. I got in your car at the time. We chilling next to River Park. And you playing the shit for me. And I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking, like, incredible. You took it to, like, the next level. Like, for real. Like, that shit wasn't fair. Like, the way...
I had to do something. Have y'all dropped Infamous? It was crazy. Y'all dropped Infamous. I mean, it just took the world over. I remember the hood, our hood.
Yeah.
When Shook Ones dropped, And you know how it is when every car's driving by playing your records. That's a hell of a feeling, right?
Yes.
When everybody's walking around with the radios playing your record. And I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, y'all made the music that really fit the hood and shaped it in a way that has never been done. And I was like, I can't do this. How did they do this? So I'm like, I'm bugging off of y'all. So I had to figure out something, man. Y'all made me go back to the drawing board, man.
Did you ever think that if Tragedy never met me, if we would be sitting here right now?
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Traj put me on. You put Traj on. So in a way, if you don't exist, I might not be here.
While during a brief stint in jail, two Queens natives would form a friendship that would extend beyond prison and eventually turn them into partners in rhyme. They go by the name of CNN, Capone-N-Noreaga.
So we working with Ayatollah, but this dude, respectfully, he's in and out. Yeah, he's in and out. Sometimes he comes through, sometimes he doesn't. If it's some street, he's always there. Might be studio, and he might be like, yo, I gotta go run out of town. Or, I gotta go do some other things. Whatever. So, and I'm getting that vibe that, because at the time, he's nice to me. He's still gracious, but at the time, he's nice. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing, bro? So he's like, yo, that's when he brings you up. But I keep, every now and then I throw it around like, yo, y'all go back in and do some more songs. Yeah. And he's like, yo, but my man. And I'm like, all right. So he's like, yo, I don't know, time just flew. And he's like, yo, my man's coming home. He's gonna be. I was like, your man's you was telling me about? He's like, yeah. I'm like, nigga is, man. I'm dead in this. Get him face to face. This nigga's out here. So boom, we go to the train station, and this that I met when he was probably like 10 or some. Because his sister India, God bless India, trying to save her little brother. And at the time I was in a different school of thought, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So long story longer, I go to the crib, ding, rings the bell, this comes out in the hallway, right? Automatically, I'm like, hey, what's this like? So when I go in the train station, I'm like, oh, this dude?
In 1996, hip-hop had a war going on. East Coast versus West Coast. In New York, felt Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound took a shot in a music video. They shot in Manhattan. It was titled New York, New York. So Capone-N-Noreaga responded back with a diss track of their own, titled LA, LA.
Can you tell me if I'm wrong? What happened was the day before we were shooting the video, Steve Griffin called you and they said Prodigy did not want to be a part of it.
That's a fact.
Right?
That's a fact, Steve Griffin.
Stop me if I'm wrong.
That's a fact.
Hit 'em Up came out that night.
That's right.
Tupac. Yep. It came out that night. So we filmed the video, that was on a Friday. So we filmed the video on a Saturday. On a Saturday, I spoke about this on my Geronimo video because I was so mad. I do not want to be in Queensbridge. But we went to Queensbridge, we filmed the video, and then P showed up. But he showed up because Pac had just dropped. Hit 'em up. I sick as hell.
Yeah.
You died.
It's in Prodigy.
And am I lying? And the reason,
nah, you're not.
And the reason why Prodigy took his verse off was because he said JFK on our way to LA.
We did a skit. It was like, hey, fool.
Yeah, they were saying, hey, God. They was mocking us.
Yeah, so what we did was we did a skit, but we never really went at nobody, because what I said, I said they didn't really go at us.
They didn't go at us.
So let's not
just
go.
referencing.
So let's not go at them, but we gonna throw a warning shot.
This is history right here.
Yeah, we're gonna throw a warning shot the way they threw a warning shot.
In 1997, Capone-N-Noreaga, executive produced by Tragedy Khadafi, but released an album that became a hip-hop staple. It's called The War Report.
I wasn't there for the finished product. You know what I'm saying? I was up north bidding. So, I got the stickers. Let me tell you, the funny thing is, I was in Buffalo, New York, and they had like a Capone Friday segment where I would call a radio station, and they made me feel like I was bigger than a superstar than I was at the time, because they knew something that I didn't know, that we was about to blow. They had faith in us. So when the War Report actually dropped, and then their interest gained bigger, that's when I knew, like, we got something here. But I couldn't see it physically, but I heard it, I felt it. And then when he came out with NORE, and then that put everything else in perspective, because it made me feel like, dang, like, we got an MTV special. MTV came to the jail and interviewed me just off the War Report.
Queensbridge had produced another success story with CNN. But like Prodigy of Mobb Deep, Noreaga wasn't from Queensbridge. He was from another part of Queens called Left Rack.
I was talking to Trash the other day on the phone.
I was about to bring that up.
And he said to me, man, it's either you got a deep like Queensbridge, like little bit of hate, or you kind of love your hood too much. So what I'm trying to explain to him was, it was my predecessors, the people who came before me. I heard the complaints. I seen the complaints in my hood. You know what I'm saying? And I remember me doing LA, and me doing like records with them and coming back to Left Rack and just walking back through there and people saying, Queensbridge. Like, Queensbridge was so hot that I could say Left Rack 3,000 times. Right. But they would still say the Queensbridge duo. So I never thought, like to this day, when I go perform in Dusseldorf, Germany, or I perform in Switzerland, or I perform in London or whatever, and these people was like, bloody money. And I'm looking like, what the fuck? Like, and they're like, do parole violators. And I'm like, because this music, although it was, we knew the world maybe would listen to it, but it really wasn't made, in my perspective, for anybody outside of Queensbridge and Left Rack. Obviously, they took care of the Queensbridge side, so it was my responsibility to say Left Rack 3,600,000 times. Yeah. And people would still call us the Queensbridge duo.
Like Nas mentioned, Queensbridge is like Emerald City, or maybe even the Justice League. Other notable artists such as Craig G, Nature, the rapper Noid, and also NBA star Metta World Peace, formerly known as Ron Artest, is straight from Queensbridge. From Marley Marl, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan, Tragedy, Nas, Mobb Deep, to CNN, Queensbridge has definitely solidified their place as the most influential neighborhood in music history.